with this asset, the 64 unit deal in through 2013 through and 2014, I was pushing the top line and controlling the expenses. So there was some value there that was created. I didn't know how to tap into that value because I was, I was like 23. I didn't have some of the resources I might have today in terms of being able to call people for advice. So I cold emailed like 10 or 15 CEOs of apartment REITs. And in hindsight, I probably should have reached out to like smaller regional companies, but the names I knew were the big names. So I reached out to 10 or 15 CEOs. 3 of them got back to me. One of them, Daniel Drimmer, he's the CEO of Starlight Investments, based out of Toronto. The other one, Bob Dillon, he's the CEO of Main Street Equity out of Calgary, Alberta. And the third one, Steve Evans, he was the CEO of Pure Multifamily REIT out of Vancouver.
Okay.
So all 3 of them gave me different advice, which was very interesting. So Daniel Drimmer, he's a 3rd generation apartment owner. So his advice was stop doing the management, hire a third-party management company, and focus on doing deals, which is good advice if you have access to capital. So I didn't have that access or the track record, so that wasn't going to work for me.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. And if I didn't learn the way I learned, I probably would have gotten taken advantage of at some point if I didn't understand the business.
Yeah, and you would have made more mistakes. Very high degree of probability you would have made more mistakes. Yep. They would have been larger mistakes because you're dealing in larger properties. And so you very quickly realized what's working, what isn't working. When you made a mistake, you're like, I'm never going to do that again, right?
Yeah.
So it helps kind of expedite your growth.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The other advice from Bob was, I resonated with that a little more because his journey was he started fixing and flipping homes, then he started buying small apartment deals and then larger apartment deals, and then eventually bringing in investors and having a publicly traded REIT. So his advice was get your hands on capital any way that you can. Whether it's raising money from people to buy another deal or refinancing this existing deal to buy another deal. So that got me thinking, in terms of being able to refinance, tap into the equity that's been created and go buy something else. And then the third CEO, Steve, he said something similar, but he also sent me a booklet from, at the time, Hendrix Berkadia, which today is Berkadia. It was their report on the apartment market, and it had contact info for each office. Yeah. So I sent an email to the St. Louis office of Berkadia. And at the time, now a good friend of mine, Ron Verley, he was kind of leading the debt side of their office. So I reached out to him. I kind of gave him the background on the deal. He sized it up. He took it to the market, sent me a few options, and I was essentially, this was within 18 months, I was going to be able to pull out the invested equity and roll it into another deal or, pay off my parents or, whatever the case was going to be. So it looked like a good option to me. We did that. We ended up, there were challenges. It was a CMBS deal.
Okay.
Because I wasn't a permanent resident at the time. So I didn't have options with agency debt. So there were challenges like in terms of getting to the finish line, but we got to the finish line, pulled out all the equity on that deal within 18 months, and then found a new opportunity founded in early 2015, but closed in about mid 2015.
Okay. And what was the size of that project?
It was 54 units.
Okay.
Kind of a similar play in a way. It was an operational value add. So like a lot of our focus is on, we do physical renovations and, the physical value add piece if it's needed. But the operational value add is huge for us. So it's coming in and realizing that vacancies can be marketed better. Your customer service can be done better. And it could be as simple as smiling and answering the phone sometimes. Your maintenance can be better through more rapid communication, responding to things and getting them done in a timely manner, and getting them done right the first time. So that's kind of some of the things I refer to when I say operational value add, and some of it could also be negotiating trash contracts, just making sure you're getting bulk pricing on your materials and things like
Right.
that. Maybe appealing real estate taxes.
Yeah.
So
insurance, making
right.
sure you're properly insured, but not over-insured, making sure that you have the proper bells and whistles, that you're working with somebody who's going to the broader market, that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's the operational value add in a nutshell. At the time, today we're doing a lot of other things as well, but at the time, some of it was, for example, if a property didn't have a website, or if a property had a family member answering the phone and they only answered it in the mornings 3 days a week or something like that. So the opportunities then look a little different than the opportunities today. But I quickly realized that there's a business plan here if we can find these types of opportunities and continue repeating. So that was a 54 unit deal. And that one, I was able to add value and refinance, I think, within a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was at the time of closing, it was, I think, 70% occupied. We got it up within 3 months to like 100%, pushed rents closer to market. We didn't bring them to market because we wanted the occupancy to go up. But it was a great deal.